All right, a quick little flipped classroom video for you. Don't worry, I'm still here to answer any questions you have, but I'm going to go through, this would be technically unit 1. All right, unit 1. All right, so this we're doing solve for the missing side. To solve for the missing side, we have to use SOHCAHTOA. So it's the right triangle. Whoops. So I know this looks long here, but we got it. We got a lot of time today, a lot of tick left in class. If you have a question anytime throughout this video, just please pause it, raise your hand, I'll come over and ask it for you. All right, so here is our reference angle there. This side here would be the opposite. This would be my hypotenuse. So I'm looking for O and H, and that tells me S. S means sine. So I take the sine of my reference angle. So my reference angle is 40. So sine of 40 equals x over 12. All right? Put this over 1. Fraction equal to a fraction. We crisscross applesauce. Crisscross applesauce. Who likes applesauce? Everyone, right? 12 times sine of 40, and you're going to want to plug that into your calculator. Do sine of 40, close your parentheses, times 12. And you should get x to be about 7.71. And that would be your answer. I'm not going to do the second one. I'd like you to try that. All right, you can try that one, and then you can check your answer with me when you're done. Okay? Let's go on to the next one. Find the missing angle. Again, this is a right triangle, so we're going to have to use SOHCAHTOA. All right, so I'm going to make this question mark an X. And if you were, let's hypothetically, I talked to the guy that made your final. Well, I don't know. I talked to him about making your final, and in your final you might see an X there, not a question mark. Just have a thought. All right, yeah. Okay, so this side here, this is our reference angle. That's what we're trying to find. That side is opposite. This side is still the hypotenuse. So O and H, that means we're using sine again. All right, so we're going to go sine of our reference angle, which is x, equals 45 over 47. Okay, 45 over 47. Now, we're not going to cross multiply here. We are trying to find our angle. We want to find the measure of our angle. So we're going to use the inverse function. Anytime you are trying to find the measure of an angle, you use the inverse. So what does that look like? It's a button in your calculator. You press second sine. All right, when you press second sine, you should get something that looks like this. Sine negative 1. All right, and then 45 over 47. Okay, you got to use second sine in your calculator. Second sine. And if you don't get the answer that I get, let me know. Your calculator may be in the wrong mode. We're going to round to the nearest degree, so that should be 73 degrees. Okay, 73 degrees. All right, another problem from Unit 1. Ready for it? Here it is. You sure? Yeah, let's go. Word problem. You will see one of these on your final as well. From point on the ground, 55 feet. From a point of the ground, 55 feet from the foot of a tree. So we have a tree. Here's my nice tree. Okay. I got a birdie. Wait, that's a bad leg. There we go. There's my birdie in there. Hard to draw with your finger, There's the bird. There's the tail. Okay, so I'm 55 feet from the foot of the tree. So here is the foot of the tree. Here's this point here. All right, that is 55 feet. Okay. You don't have to draw the birdie. It's okay. The angle of elevation to the top of the tree, so if I'm going to draw a line to the top of the tree here, okay, is 40 degrees. Always put your angle of elevation or depression down there. All right, to the nearest foot, find the height of the tree. Well, the height of the tree doesn't apply to my hypotenuse. It applies to the actual tree itself, so I'll call this x. All right, and in relation to this problem, okay, we want to find the height of the tree. This is a right triangle, technically. Right there, there's my right angle. All right, so I'm going to use SOHCAHTOA again. This would be the opposite side. This would be the adjacent. Uh-oh, no more sign. O and A means tangent. So I do the tangent of my reference angle of 40 degrees equals my ratio. The ratio is O over A, so that's x over 55. Put it over 1 and crisscross applesauce. Applesauce. X equals 55 times the tangent of 40. And you don't have to write that. You can just write the answer if you can get it right away. I know you're doing your calculator. X equals 46.15 feet. Boom. You have a question on that one? Raise your hand. Let me know. Okay? Okay? Okay. Let's talk to the next one here. You ready to? We're ready for it. All right, area of a sector. Now we're moving on to unit 2. All right, this is unit 2. Unit 2, okay? The area of a sector is 24 pi inches squared, and the measure of the central angle is 60 degrees. All right, find the length of the radius. So we're looking for the area of a sector formula in degrees. So the area of the sector formula in degrees is the one with our 360. We do S equals theta over 360 because that's in degrees times pi r squared. Okay? So let's throw what we know, plug in what we know here. All right, the area of the sector, which is, let's see if I can highlight this. Let's go. Area of the sector is 24. That's our S. All right. So if that's our S, I'll call that 24 pi equals our central angle, which is theta, is 60 degrees. That's our theta. So I'll put that in for theta here. That'll be 60 over 360 times pi r squared. I'm going to put that over 1. All right. Remember you guys saying how much you love these problems back when we did them. I believe that was you guys. I'm not sure. Yeah, that was probably you. That was you. Yeah. Okay. And then we're going to multiply across the top here and multiply across the bottom. What that's going to end up looking like is just 24 pi over 1 equals 60 pi r squared over 360. All right, and now we have a fraction equal to a fraction here, fraction equal to a fraction, crisscross applesauce. Okay, crisscross applesauce. And then 24, or let's just write, we got 60 pi r squared equals 24 times 360 is 8640 pi. Solving for r, divide both sides by 60 pi, divide by 60 pi, pi's cancel, 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 r squared equals 144. Square root both sides. To get rid of the square term, you square root both sides. R equals 12. There's your radius. Wow. Wow. Okay, here we go. If the length, so we're looking at arc length now. All right, now we got to figure out which formula we're going to use. If we're looking for the arc length formula in degrees or the arc length formula in radians. All right, so how are we going to tell? If the arc length is 30 pi and the central angle has a measure of 2 pi over 3, then find the length of the radius. All right, so this angle here, right, covered by my face, okay, this is in radians here. Okay, so if that tells me that I'm going to have to use my arc length formula in radians, which is L equals theta times R. Okay, so my arc length of the arc is 30, which is our L. My central angle is 2 pi over 3, which is my theta, and we're trying to find R, so I say 30 pi equals 2 pi over 3 times R over 1. Here is theta again, here is L again. Okay, so now I can rewrite that. If I multiply across the top right here, multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom, 30 pi over 1 equals 2 pi R over 3. Fraction equal to a fraction, crisscross applesauce. 2 pi R equals 90 pi. Divide by 2 pi to get R by itself. Cancel, cancel. Divide by 2 pi. Pi's cancel. R equals 45. Boom. All right. Two more. Here we go. Next one. Okay. A lacrosse player swings a stick with a radius of 4 at an angular velocity of 210 degrees per second. What is the linear velocity of the ball? So when I see a question like this and it has degrees in it, I immediately want to change that angle from degrees to radians by multiplying by pi over 180. If you're solving linear velocity and you see something like this, immediately change it from degrees to radians. So if I simplify 210 pi over 180, that's 7 pi over 6. So I have a radius and an angle, and I want to find the linear velocity. So I need to use V equals theta times R over T. All right. Theta is going to be the angle I just found here, 7 pi over 6. 7 pi over 6. My radius is 4. The time I am in is seconds, 1 second. If I multiply 7 over 6 times 4, all right, that comes out to be 14 pi over 3 feet per second. And you can actually multiply that out, multiply out the pi, and you should get 14.66 feet per second. I'll take either of those answers on your final, if you were to see a problem like this. Okay, last one, save the best for last. Here we go. Okay, I only got like a minute left, so here we go. So find L if R equals 15 and W equals 6.78 and T equals, so we're going to have to use two formulas here. V equals R times W and V equals L over T. We're going to use this formula on the left to help us find L in the formula on the right. So I'm going to plug it and throw what I know. V equals R, which is 15, times W, which is 6.78. So V is 101.7. Now I'm going to take this and plug it in for V there. So V is 101.7 equals L over T, which is 3.20 over 1. Fraction equal to a fraction. You guessed it, crisscross applesauce. 101.7 times 3.2, you should get 325.44 centimeters. Wow, with 10 seconds to spare. Let me know if at any point you had any questions. All right. Yeah, deuces.